Thank you very much. I am very excited to be here and to give my perspective of things. I'm just gonna dig in. So, I was raised with football and the privilege of engaging in the union life, which has given me a lot of values and tools that I use today, both in my education, but also in the way I perceive the world and actively do my part to make it a better one. With the knowledge that not everyone has the opportunity to engage in spare time activities, I made it my mission to use my stronger force, being football, to change that and make sure every child, especially girls, of course, gets the opportunity, which I used to take for granted. Um, in my neighborhood, there's an overrepresentation of refugee families. And as we all know, it's not the norm and tradition to see females running around outside kicking to a ball on the half made pitches in, for example, Afghanistan, where I come from, or some other third world country. So, how can we expect these refugee parents to encourage their girls to exercise when it's a picture that they've never imagined could be possible? That's the reason it's so important for society to take action and for those of us who are more privileged than others to do something about it and be proactive by setting an example. Sometimes people do not know what they're missing out of or what opportunities and rights they actually have. Imagine that. No one ever thought that these girls living in these so called ghettos would have an interest in playing football, so nobody bothered to do anything about it. Until I started my female football initiative out here, there were zero girls playing football. Today, we luckily have a whole department, but it's just the principle that we choose not to help those who don't know how or what to ask for that makes me very frustrated. It's typically the minorities who face the consequences of a structure built upon majority values. And in my opinion, the real victim that does the real suffering and misses out is society. If we want better democratic societies, we have to engage and include everyone, regardless of background or beliefs, in order to develop better and in a right direction. Once these girls integrated union values in their life world, they became totally other persons. I mean, they became lions and better versions of themselves. They began standing up for themselves and raising their voices, being forced to shout, pass the ball, several times on the pitch to be a part of the play and contribute with their individual skills has not only had an impact on the field, but also when they left, but also when they feel left out of society, out of school, out of communities, they were taught to shout and to raise their voices in the exact same way when they felt that left out of the game and wanted the ball. So sport makes you strive to become better and better, and eventually that reflects on your performance at school, at home, everywhere. It teaches you to think collectively and not individually. It's not, it's not that kind of society that we want. And by doing such a simple thing, and in my opinion, minimum standard thing, as creating a girls' football team, society just secured itself a bunch of educated girls who might end up contributing in ways we cannot imagine in the future. Surely the process wasn't easy, but how can you ever give up on human rights? And it took me approximately 5 years to get the whole department up and running. I started when I was 16. Today I'm 21. And I didn't have any coaching experience. I only knew what life as a player was like. So I used to just adapt some of the exercises my coach used to give me and use it in my own practice. And honestly, I spent most of the time on the pitch acting as a social worker, as a big sister, as a role model, because it turned out that the girls weren't there to become elite ballers. They were there to be a part of something bigger, to get filled out the need they had inside of them, to feel crucial and to feel like they have something to contribute with. And being part of the game, being part of football and part of a team makes you feel like you can't be left out in order for the game to function. And that was the feeling these girls needed. And that's what this offered. This tiny little thing as a football team gave these girls. And yeah, A crucial part of the process was parent involvement, a change of culture and tradition. And we all know that changing values are one of the hardest things to do. But I managed to do so through strategic thinking and by using my own firsthand experiences. For example, when I was younger, I didn't have. I'm a refugee myself. I came to Denmark when I was 3 years old. My family didn't have the resources to wash the clothes, buy me the newest gear. I didn't even know half the gear I needed to play football. So by taking in these experiences and learning from them, I knew that in order for these girls to get a part of this football team and to attract others, I needed to lower the standards and meet everyone on the same level. So I made sure that they didn't have to pay as much as in other and ordinary clubs, because I think it's very discriminating in general in the system when clubs put on a barrier saying it costs maybe like 100 euros to be a part of this every season. There are a lot of families who can't manage to pay this much, and you already just sort out a bunch of people and saying you can't be a part of this just because you're not able to support it financially. So that was one thing I made sure not to
I'm really sorry. And
Yeah,
this,
that's fine.
I'm
I
sorry.
could go on and on.
I
Thank
know,
you.
and I could absolutely listen to you go on and on. This is truly, truly interesting and inspiring, but I do have to stop you in the interest of time. I'm sorry.
That makes totally sense. Thank you so much.